Saw-scaled vipers. Ever heard of them? Well, today we're going to look back at some old footage, pictures, of when I bred saw-scaled vipers. Bunch of little babies. Now, some people have asked me recently if I've ever worked with them. I do have some older videos on here of the saw-scaled vipers, but maybe you haven't seen them. But let's take a look back at some of the old pictures and stuff. Remember, don't attempt. Subscribe if you're new. But let's check it out. First, we'll take a look at the adults I had. This is my favorite picture. Not the best quality, but look at them. Adorable. Heat-seeking missiles. Do they look like toads? Some people say they look like toads. What do you think? This is day one, when they were first born. Now, this is the first time I ever successfully bred snakes. Now, I was so excited when I saw the babies that I made a mistake that I'm going to share with you. Separating the adults, the male and female, wasn't thinking about food response. When I was hooking the female out, the male bit her right on the face. Felt so bad. I was so excited, didn't think about that. Her face swelled up so big. Went down after a couple days, she was fine. But it was a learning lesson. To just set that excitement aside and take into consideration all the factors at play. But luckily, like I said, she was fine. But geez, felt so bad. Look at how cute these babies were. We're going to take a look at some pictures. I'm going to show you some videos too. But wow, look at these little eyes. You have no idea how tiny they were. Now, before I get further in, here's why they get the common name saw-scaled viper. Defense mechanism, rubbing their scales together. The keeled, rough scales rubbing together makes a little raspy sound. Defense. Listen to it. This is a little baby. Amazing, right? That's one of the few times I ever saw that happen. Saw it in the adults once. This baby once. That's it. The desert horn viper, you may have seen them do it too. They do the same thing. Rub their scales together, make that sound. Incredible. Mesmerizing. Now, these are some photos that my friend Steven took. Now, dealing with one wasn't so bad, but coming up you'll see it's a lot more difficult when we try to put more in the picture. But look at how cute. I truly wish I would have kept some. I didn't keep any. But geez, especially this. This might be one of my favorite pictures. Toad? Here we go. Put one more in. Started to get a little bit more difficult because they didn't want to sit still. Kept sidewinding around. But look how good that other one's doing, just sitting there perfectly. Just love their face. Now this is why I say don't attempt. Tailing a viper, especially this small, pointless. They can whip around and bite you if they want to. I'm using that piece of wood as a little barrier. I've talked about this a few times where I like to have a little barrier when I first do that initial touch in case they do react. Gives me, even if it's a split millisecond to react, that hopefully I do that in enough time. Look at that face. Something about their face. I love it. The facial pattern, just incredible. 3 of them. 4. You can see these 2 are moving around. The other 2 sitting still. Pile of saw scale vipers. Look at how cute. This is what I love, when they're just sitting there like this. Now there are a few different types of saw scale viper. These are the Sochereckes saw scale vipers. Now, as I mentioned how tiny they were, had to start them off on crickets until they were big enough to start eating rodents. This is how it went for a while. But check it out. Now, I said heat-seeking missiles earlier, but they're not pit vipers. Just remember that. I can understand how that can be confusing. As I mentioned, this is how it went for a while, till they were big enough. Look at that fang foldage. Adorable. Now, since I was asked if I ever worked with them, any excuse to look back at old videos or pictures, I'm going to take that opportunity. Hope you enjoyed seeing these beautiful saw scale vipers and hearing some stories about them. But yeah, love y'all. Subscribe if you're new. And big shout out to my channel members. If you'd like early access to videos or just to support, consider becoming a channel member. Click the description. Follow me on Instagram. Check out the little bit of merch I have. Love y'all.